I'm sorry, it's my fault.
While taking a drive, an accident caused by my husband's mistake left me in a coma. He vanished from this world, leaving a suicide note in my hand. Why did you leave me behind? I was so shocked that I lost my will to live and even considered following him in death. But I vowed to live on, not just for myself but for him as well. A year later, I saw an unexpected person on TV. It was my husband, who was supposed to have taken his own life. Incredibly, he was being called daddy by a child I didn't know, with a happy smile on his face. What's going on? After that, one shocking truth after another came to light. My name is Iris, 36 years old. Both of my parents have passed away, leaving only my younger sister, Olivia, who is 8 years my junior, and my husband, Mike. Olivia works for a company abroad, so I rarely see her. Mike had always dreamed of having children even before we were married. But I, who was unable to fulfill that dream for him, was struggling to find my value. This was because it turned out I had difficulty conceiving after we got married. Mike, I'm sorry we may not be able to have a child because of me.
We still have a chance. I'm always by your side. Let's work together and do our best. No worries, everything's gonna be alright for sure.
Yeah, you're right. We'll have a lively family, won't we? Mike encouraged me when I was about to give up. He was supportive in treatment, so I endured and worked hard inspiring myself. But that only lasted for the first year. Gradually, the unsuccessful treatments stressed us out, and we began to fight constantly. Why do I have to suffer this much alone? I don't know when we'll ever have a baby.
Iris, you've been doing great. Maybe we should take a break from the treatment for a change of pace.
Mike said kindly, trying to comfort me. But mentally pressured so much, I couldn't even accept it wholeheartedly. You wouldn't understand because you are a man. My feelings of sadness and agony were so intense that I couldn't stop them. What? If you have something to say it clearly. I looked at Mike with tears in my eyes, and his expression suddenly got grim.
It's not just you who's struggling. Don't think you're the only one having a hard time, even though you're the useless who can't have kids.
What? Suddenly spoken with his harsh words, I was bewildered and couldn't comprehend what he said for a moment.
Sorry. I went too far. I mean, it was just a tit-for-tat response.
He quickly apologized, but I couldn't help feeling sad, wondering if that was his true feeling. The next day, Mike went to work and didn't come back home for several days, and I couldn't even reach him. I was desperately worried and contacted acquaintances, but couldn't find where he was and spent sleepless nights. I didn't know what should I do. 3 days later,
I'm home.
Mike appeared with a smile. Where have you been? I've been so worried.
Sorry. What's for dinner tonight?
He acted as if nothing had happened, talking to me as usual without any explanation. Where on earth have you been and what have you been doing all this time?
I was just busy at work and stayed at the office. Can we just leave it at that?
You should have at least called me. I couldn't help raising my voice, and then I saw his expression change.
Stop interfering with everything I do. You're so annoying.
Suddenly, he pushed me hard and went to sleep without eating. He had never been rough with me before. It's awful. He's different from the Mike I knew. Shaken by his sudden change, I was paralyzed on the spot for a while. After that, Mike began coming home late, using work as an excuse, and started being out even on weekends, claiming he had to work. Wondering if he was having an affair, I called my sister Olivia, who works abroad, to talk about it. He's been coming home late, and he's barely ever at home.
Mike doesn't seem like the type to cheat. I think it's good he's working hard. If he's in good health, that is all that matters, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but
What's the problem then? My boyfriend is way worse, always lying, you know?
she seemed to try to make me laugh with making fun of herself. Talking to my straightforward sister made my problems seem less significant. Indeed, Mike wasn't the type to cheat, and when he was home, he helped with the chores. Our marriage was going pretty well, I thought. Maybe I'm just being too sensitive. Eventually, we didn't have a child, and before we knew it, 5 years of marriage had flown by. Gradually, Mike and I barely talked to each other, even when we were together. Feeling the need to bridge the invisible gap in our relationship and not leave things as they were, a good idea came to mind. How about we go out together sometime? Maybe see a movie or go shopping?
No way. I'd rather sleep at home than go out with you.
I thought changing the scenery or mood might increase our conversations, so I asked him out, but he turned it down. Yet, when it came to going out with his friends, he would get all excited, preparing eagerly, and went out having a spring in his step. Are we over as a couple? Where did we go wrong? While thinking this, there was one thing I kept pondering. It was about children. Turning 35, I also thought that, given my age, it might be my last chance to have children. Realizing nothing would change if I just sat back, I confronted Mike before he left for work. Can we try infertility treatment again for just 1 year? I need your help.
No way, impossible. I'm too busy with work and don't have time to deal with you.
My suggestion was outright dismissed without a second thought. But I couldn't just accept it and give up. I kept asking, changing my approach on another day.
Enough already. I'm telling you, I don't want a child with you anymore.
Never expecting he said like that, I felt as if everything went dark before me. He was the one who wanted children so much. There was so much I wanted to say, and it took a while to get over it, but I started to think that life as just the two of us wasn't so bad. Perhaps feeling guilty, Mike spoke to me a few days later.
It looks like nice weather tomorrow. How about we go for a drive? Any place you want to go, just name it.
Really? When was the last time we went out together? I'm looking forward to it. I was so happy, like a school kid before a field trip, and couldn't sleep much that night. Early next morning, I prepared a picnic lunch and dressed up a bit. We had a great time laughing and enjoying ourselves. But then Mike made a driving mistake, and my side of the car slammed into the guardrail. My memory stops there. When I slowly regained consciousness, I found myself in a hospital bed.
Iris, do you recognize me? It's Olivia.
My sister was calling out to me with tears in her eyes. Apparently, I had been in a coma for several weeks due to the accident caused by Mike. Olivia had been informed about the accident and had flown back from abroad to be by my side. At first, I could barely nod as speaking was difficult. Gradually, through rehabilitation, I managed to regain the ability to converse. During that time, there was something that continued to bother me. Mike, where is he? Can you contact him? I want to see him.
Well, I can't do that.
When I mentioned my husband's name, Olivia hesitated to speak, and I had a bad feeling. Is he in a worse state than me? Where is his hospital room? Take me there.
Well, I don't want to upset you, but when I got here, he was nowhere to be found, and you were holding his suicide note in your hand.
A suicide note? What do you mean? No. Olivia hugged and calmed me down as I broke down crying. After a while, she handed me a piece of paper.
I'm sorry because of my driving. I've caused you so much trouble. Forgive me.
Reading it, I was too confused to speak.
Mike has passed away, and his funeral has already been done.
I don't believe it. Just as I was able to sit up, I lost my will from the shock. But all I could think about while lying there was Mike. Mike, I'll be joining you soon. Wait for me. I was preoccupied with the thought of following in his death. But I knew that would only bring sorrow to Olivia. Reflecting on her, who came to visit me every day, I decided to live fully, not just for myself but also for my husband. Working hard on rehabilitation, I made a steady recovery and was scheduled to be discharged a month later. I wanted to visit my in-laws at least, but Olivia discouraged me from doing so.
I thought you'd say that, so I contacted them, but they don't want to see you. Maybe because he took his own life, they're still not over it.
I understood their pain and decided to wait until they felt better before trying to meet them. After I returned home, I managed to do things myself despite some difficulties, and Olivia continued to visit and support me even after my discharge.
Iris, I have a suggestion. Maybe moving to start anew could be good for you.
Why would you say that? Honestly, I'm a bit afraid. Taken aback by the unexpected suggestion, I spilled out my true feelings. But Olivia might have a point. The memories of Mike in this house were overwhelming, making it hard to move forward. Okay, I'll try it to start fresh. Despite feeling apprehensive, I decided to move to a neighboring state with a specialized rehabilitation hospital that Olivia recommended me. About 3.5 hours away from here by car. Olivia handled everything from the move to the paperwork because I couldn't move well yet. I'm so glad to have her. Starting anew in an unfamiliar place. A year had passed since the accident. By then, I could almost move as well as before, thanks to the rehabilitation. After moving, I started working at a new company where my colleague Adam was very kind to me, allowing me to spend my days in peace. He was my mentor, but I was able to share my painful past with him. Adam had lost his wife in an accident as well, and perhaps we found common ground in our losses.
Iris, do you need anything? If you're missing something, I can buy it for you.
I'm fine now. Thank you for always making time to visit. Olivia would occasionally visit me, taking the time to drive over. Supported by everyone, I was grateful for being able to live on. After seeing I was doing well, Olivia returned to her job abroad, and 2 months had passed. While I was watching TV, I saw news of a new amusement park opening in the state I used to live in. Oh, maybe I'll invite Olivia to go there next time. As I watched, an unexpected figure appeared on the screen.
The amusement park is so much fun. I'm so happy to come with Mommy and Daddy.
Yes, having a family is wonderful.
A father and a boy around 4 years old were being interviewed, both laughing happily. That father was my husband, who was supposed to have taken his own life. What? How can this be? But he was supposed to be. Unable to tear my eyes from the TV, something even more astonishing caught my attention. Unable to resist confirming it, I acted before thinking and made a phone call.
Hello, what's up?
Hey, Mike passed away, right?
What are you talking about now? Are you okay?
Never mind. Sorry to bother you when you're busy. Talk to you later. During the call with my sister, a sound caught my ear, compelling me to investigate further, leading me to a shocking discovery. How can this be? Overwhelmed and unsure of what to do, I couldn't bear it alone anymore and turned to Adam for advice.
If there's anything I can do to help, just let me know.
Adam, who was tech-savvy, offered his support and started looking into the matter online after hearing my story. Driven to uncover more truth, I spent all my savings to hire a detective. Weeks later, revelations about things I was unaware of emerged, stirring anger and astonishment in me. I won't let this go. I'll get to the bottom of this. A month after seeing the amusement park news on TV, I visited an apartment. The woman who answered the doorbell, seeing my face, expressed surprise.
Huh? What are you doing here? Did I tell you I was back?
I didn't hear, but is it bad that I came?
No, it's not that. It's just the place is a mess because I haven't unpacked yet.
Olivia, seemingly flustered, was reluctant to let me in.
If it's not urgent, can we perhaps do this another time? I just got back yesterday and am still jet-lagged.
While she appeared sleepy, sounds of footsteps came from behind her.
Mommy, I want some snacks. I'm hungry.
It was the boy who had appeared in the interview with my husband a month ago. He came running energetically, but upon seeing my face, he shyly hid behind Olivia. Mom, are you married? When did you have a child?
Well, it's complicated. I missed the timing to tell you.
She was clearly panicking, with sweat rolling down her forehead. Pretending not to notice her distress, I placed a hand on her shoulder. I need to talk about something important, so can we go inside? It's not something the child should hear. Can someone look after him? When I asked earnestly, Olivia seemed to sense something and took out her smartphone to make a call to someone.
A mom friend nearby can take care of him. I'll go drop him off. Just wait here.
She then fetched a small backpack and jacket for the child and left with him. So Olivia really is that child's mother. While feeling bewildered by seeing my sister Olivia in a maternal role that I had never witnessed before, various thoughts raced through my mind. After a while, Olivia returned and reluctantly let me into the apartment.
What's this important talk about? Just tell me what you need.
Seemingly eager to get rid of me, she asked abruptly, without even offering coffee. The topic wasn't something I could easily discuss, so instead of answering, I questioned her. When did you get married? Did you have a wedding?
I can't remember. I forgot.
Her face contorted, and it seemed she was trying to laugh it off, attempting to hide the truth. No matter what I asked, she kept saying, I can remember. Impatient with the lack of progress, I changed the subject to move the conversation forward. What's the name of the child from earlier?
His name is Walker.
He looks about 4 years old, right? That was when I was struggling to have children. Did you keep it from me out of consideration?
Yeah, that's actually true. Sorry for not telling you.
Olivia seemed relieved, regaining some composure. However, when I mentioned knowing she had been in the States all along, she firmly denied it. That's strange. When I called you a month ago, I heard an English train station announcement in the background. Even with my assertion, Olivia shook her head, insisting it was my mishearing. though her expression tensed and she bit her lower lip. All right, it's time to press on. I took a deep breath and locked eyes with Olivia. The day I called you, news of the new amusement park was airing, and I saw Walker and my supposedly deceased husband there, as father and son. Olivia gasped and frantically denied it. You were also caught on camera, weren't you? Upon hearing my remark, she quickly averted her eyes and fell silent. Without giving her a chance to speak, I told her what I had learned from the detective. Olivia had given birth to Walker 4 years ago. At that time, she was an unmarried mother, but a year ago, she got married my husband, who was supposed to have passed away. It's time for you to explain what's going on. When I showed her the investigation report from the detective, she glanced at it and furrowed her brow.
That's a mistake. It's someone else. Don't make strange jokes without proof.
Even at this point, she tried to feign ignorance, which annoyed me. But when I requested his death certificate, I couldn't confirm Mike's death, and it appears that I supposedly divorced him, you know? Olivia handled all the government paperwork, so I was clueless about the details. After seeing that news broadcast, I had a hunch and claimed the certification to obtain and check the truth. That was the incontrovertible proof. It confirmed that Mike was alive. Pressed by my relentless questioning, Olivia was flustered, making excuses. I told her to call Mike to come here immediately. Confronted relentlessly by me, Olivia, flustered and fumbling for excuses, eventually called Mike at my insistence.
He said he's shopping and will be back soon.
Though we both must have had plenty to say, the room remained silent except for the ticking of the clock's second hand. The silence was broken by Mike's return.
I'm home. Why the rush to get me back?
Well, it's...
Wait, where's Walker? Why is Iris here?
Seeing me, he panicked and attempted to flee. Wait, don't look at me as if you've seen a ghost. That's sad.
Gah.
Frustrated and without an outlet for his emotions, Mike dragged Olivia to a corner of the room and shouted,
Why didn't you tell me she was here? Don't mess around.
I'm sorry, but...
While Mike raged on one-sidedly, I stood in front of him with a smile. I never thought I'd see you again.
Yeah, right.
Realizing I had discovered he was alive, he must have been very panicked. He had shifty eyes. You were married to me, yet you cheated with Olivia and even had a child. What's the meaning of this?
Wait a minute, there's no proof of that, right? Who said the child is mine?
This is irrefutable evidence. I confronted him, who had been in full denial, with a document.
What is this?
It was a DNA test result. It was written that Mike and Walker were confirmed to have a father-child relationship.
It must be fake, right? You just made this up with some online search.
No, it's real. I had sent for testing his hair from a comb I kept as his memento and Walker's hair obtained by the detective.
Hiring someone for this, that's creepy. You always had that streak.
Don't change the subject, explain this. I confronted him as he tried to feign ignorance and change the subject. Then, suddenly, he clutched his head and crouched down.
My head hurts. I get confused when I try to recall the past all of a sudden.
Really? That must be tough. Are you okay? As I showed concern, he smirked and became oddly talkative.
Actually, I hit my head in that accident and got amnesia. I've been remembering bits, but some parts are still missing.
Wow, that's some convenient amnesia. You remember everything, don't you? I pulled out my smartphone and showed him something.
Why do you know about this?
It was his social media account he had maintained for years. I wasn't aware of it, but Adam had looked into it for me. It was filled with posts since Walker's birth, including details about the accident. It says that the car was totaled, but you only got a scrape on your arm. He seemed unable to respond, his hands clenched into fists, trembling visibly. Then, he suddenly laughed and approached me.
Since you can't have a child, you're useless, so I can have them wherever I want, can't I?
How can you say such things after what you did?
Come on, it's fine. Besides, Olivia is the one involved, so Walker is related to you too.
Faced with his despicable remarks, I felt my anger gradually building up.
Right, Olivia. It's okay, isn't it?
Yeah, sure. I gave him the child he wanted, so I should be praised for that.
Mike and Olivia threw their harsh words at me with confidence, then casually shared how they got together. While Olivia was struggling with work, Mike, coincidentally on the same train home, lent a sympathetic ear, leading to an affair and Olivia's pregnancy.
I thought I'd never have my own child, but then Olivia got pregnant. Quite different from defective you, right?
Mike, who had wanted children, was thrilled, and Olivia, accepting this, gave birth in secret without telling me. Moreover, Olivia lied about working abroad to hide her pregnancy and childbirth for a while. Mike also lied to me about work, delaying his return home or going out, visiting Olivia and Walker. Then you should have divorced me. What's the point of keeping our marriage while doing this behind my back?
Well, if I divorced you, it would look like I left because you couldn't have kids. That would ruin my image.
I was appalled at the thought of him leading a double life for the sake of appearances. Without finding it strange, Olivia said,
It was hard keeping it secret. Be grateful.
Hearing this, I felt a deep sadness, betrayed by my own family. I will never forgive them. No mercy. I took a deep breath and glared at them again. The accident wasn't just a driving mistake by Mike, was it? You planned it intentionally, right?
What? Are you accusing me of being the culprit?
He furrowed his brow and glared fiercely. Probably trying to intimidate me, but I was not daunted by this at all. I went to the police, and they said there were no skid marks at the accident scene like someone had braked in panic.
So what?
It seems it was processed as an accident anyway.
Stop making these weird accusations. It's getting annoying being treated like a criminal.
Though Mike spoke those words, his voice gradually lost its force, and he fell silent. Moreover, his gaze was unsettled, showing his lack of composure. I asked for a Ray investigation, and they agreed to do it.
This is nonsense. Stop causing unnecessary trouble.
When I pressed if an investigation would be problematic for him, Mike slowly began to confess.
You are just too tenacious. I thought that accident would lead to you die, and the insurance would pay out. Then I wouldn't have had to lie.
You are truly despicable.
I don't want to hear it from you. Because of you, I had to change jobs, and now I'm slaving away at a low-paying company.
It's just because of you? His figure, blaming everything on me and continuing to yell, was so ridiculous that I could only sigh. Why didn't you tell me the truth, Olivia? Why did you keep silent? After a long silence, when she looked up, she was grinning from ear to ear. What's so funny? As I looked on her in wonder, she burst into laughter, holding her stomach as if it was the funniest thing. Then, she looked down at me, who were astounded, with a gaze of disdain.
After everything was taken by me and almost killed by your husband, that's just pathetic, isn't it? What a pitiful woman.
Olivia taunted, throwing harsh words at me. When I asked why she had cared for me if she looked down on me so much, Olivia's demeanor suddenly changed to seriousness.
I had to care to cover up my involvement in planning the car accident.
I was shocked, having thought it was Mike's solo act. It's horrible. You looked after me just to cover yourself. Her suggestion to move away probably aimed to distance me.
Exactly. Plus, I was tired of playing the caring sister.
Believing in Olivia's kindness as genuine, I was devastated to learn of her betrayal, and the tears I had been holding back just wouldn't stop.
We were happy until you showed up. You just bring everyone down.
Enjoy speaking like that while you can. I'm going to sue you for adultery.
What are you talking about? I don't have any money, and we're already divorced. I don't owe you anything.
Mike retorted with a smug, self-assured demeanor, as if he believed he was entirely in the right. Adultery during our marriage allows me to claim alimony even after divorce.
What? Are you serious?
And I will tell the police everything. You might only be able to laugh for now.
Wait, please. I'm begging you. Keep it quiet with the police.
He changed his demeanor, now pleading desperately.
Right? Don't destroy your happiness. It's all in the past, isn't it? Iris, please.
Olivia also begged, saying whatever suited her. After you wrecked my life, don't just say whatever you want. You should regret what you've done. I pushed them both away firmly and showed them the screen where I was on a call with Adam. They surely hadn't expected that their conversation was being overheard.
We're over now.
Olivia collapsed to her knees, and Mike stood frozen, powerless. After going to the police and discussing the matter, the accident was reopened for investigation. Mike confessed during questioning and was arrested. Olivia, who had planned it all, faced serious charges. They will likely spend some time behind bars. Furthermore, I claimed $30,000 in compensation for adultery from Mike and $10,000 from Olivia. For emotional damages, I demanded $50,000 from Mike and $20,000 from Olivia. Once they are released, I will have them make the payments. I couldn't forgive Olivia and decided to cut ties with her. Just when I thought I was utterly alone, Adam, who had helped me through this, unexpectedly confessed his feelings. I wasn't ready for a romantic relationship yet, so we decided to start as friends. I'm hoping to move forward at my own pace.